what the heck are we talking about?
I don't know, but I kind of love that our podcasts are just going everywhere, because if we were at a coffee shop right now, this is how the conversation would go. So
Yeah.
come grab your cup of coffee with us, because this is how it goes.
Welcome to Under the Sun podcast. I'm Ilea.
And I'm Irene. Grab a cup of coffee and your comfiest sweats and join us every Monday as two best friends discuss everything from raising free-range gremlins to business and really everything under the sun.
Let's get started, and thanks for being here.
Welcome.
Wait. This is how we have to start. Because I need also a quiet clip to like probably boost it, because you won't be able to hear it.
Allegedly.
Don't sue us. Everything we say is allegedly said.
Listen, just have your own brain cells.
I know.
That's all I want.
People don't.
The amount of comments that have been like, I don't know, even on that one that's still, it hits like 10 million. And we get comments every day of people being like, who's this girl? What's her freaking credentials? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are your
Did you see
credentials?
my response the other day?
Yeah, did you see my response to
No, I didn't. But he's just
He responded again saying, stupid woman saying.
I almost blocked him from that.
Yeah. I said, go get therapy on why this bothers you so bad, because clearly you have some guilt going on.
Also, it's like, who is this person? She probably doesn't even have a degree or kids. And I'm like, if you would just listen to the whole podcast.
Listen to the whole podcast, or look at the description where it's you tag Dr. Lauren Jordan.
Yep.
And then she owns a spine and rehab center. Like,
Confession,
honestly.
though, I didn't want to look like an idiot. So I had to Google if the word doctorate was the correct word.
Oh,
because I didn't want to say like doctor's degree and then that be wrong, or doctorate and that be wrong. So I'm still not 1000% sure, but also
who cares? Honestly, I think, I don't know, people just get in this zone of commenting and negativity.
Which is so weird, because even at like my worst of days, I would never say something mean to someone unless they were like bullying children. But
I think the one time, I mean, it was for bullying children. There was like a video that had like millions and millions of views, and it was like a guy like shaking a young baby, thinking like, oh, like this is fun, but like you can tell the kid's like neck was and I was like, I reported the post and I said, this is wrong. Like, you are going to ruin that child's brain and and hurt it. Yeah. And some people, whatever.
Yeah.
This is a topic we're going to get into. This is not the topic today. Good morning, good afternoon, good middle of the night, whatever.
Welcome to our rambling.
Yeah. We're excited, but like, this is not the topic we're going to talk about today, but I do want to talk about witchcraft at some point, because I did get banned from a Facebook group for just being like, hey, I was not a part of a witchcraft group. It's a homesteading group.
Yeah. Which I would think, I'm realizing the more we're like looking into homesteading, I would assume everyone would be like more like us. And I didn't realize that a lot of people are growing herbs to like make potions. I'm like, what is wrong with people?
I'm growing herbs in the sense of medicinal, yes. And
not like
teas.
Casting spells on people. Yeah. It's scary.
And unfortunately, I didn't realize those worlds. Like, when you say like homesteading, a lot of people think that. And there are a lot of Christian women who think witchcraft is like perfectly fine. And it's totally normal. It's like, oh, like, yeah, I'm a little witchy. It's fine. But I'm a Christian. It's like, nope,
Once
cannot
you open those doors.
You cannot do both. We will talk about this.
Yeah, let's do it
later.
Because apparently on that topic, I've turned into my very Mexican mom who like wouldn't let us watch scary movies at home. She's like, you're going to bring evil spirits in our house. I was like, Mom, it's just a movie. Yeah. But now at this age, I'm like, that's not bringing anything into this house. Get out of here.
Seriously. So, I mean,
that should be another topic. Things that our moms did, we thought we'd never do that now we're doing.
You know what I do?
You're scratching of like food substances.
Yes. I hated that. I was like, ugh, Mom, like, just get a napkin and wipe it off. But now I'm like, I don't have time to grab a napkin.
You also gagged that one time I ate oatmeal off my kid's face.
Yeah, but then
I watched you do it the other day and I laughed.
It's just different.
Like, it's your kid.
It's just, it's different. And like, we do have to have an episode about that, because I have a lot of thoughts.
Well, that we another day in a podcast, because we'll accidentally talk for 3 hours. But I also want to let the listeners in the car know that hopefully you can't see it.
Yeah, don't watch you drive.
If you're driving and you just ate lunch and you're uncomfortable and you unbuttoned your pants, no judgment, because I'm currently sitting here after a long work day with my pants unbuttoned, just hoping that the video feed is not catching my unbuttoned pants. So yeah, sometimes you want to wear your cute pants to work. Sometimes they're too tight for a full day. So
no judgment. Like, I'm with you. When you start the day and your tummy is a little like a flatter, and then you put them on, you're like, oh yeah, this will work all day. And then you eat breakfast, and then you eat lunch, and then you have coffee, and then you have water, and then naturally, it's normal. By the way, guys, like you're gonna blow. And you have you're not a dude and your internal organs are inside. And so it's okay for them to show. Like, it's okay to have a
That's an interesting thought. I never thought about that.
Yeah. They have a bulge down there. We have a bulge right here. It's fine.
Every once in a while, I'm like, we'll tell Jacob, I'm like, I'm really glad I don't have to deal with an extra appendage. And he's like, you're so weird. Please go away. I'm like, it just seems like a nuisance to have to like adjust and watch what underwear you wear. It's like,
yeah.
But then, we have periods. So
yeah,
it's a trade-off.
Well, I want to switch Dave's underwear over. I haven't actually like done it. It's been on my list, but they're like so expensive to get like non-toxic filled.
But the good thing
underwear
is men's underwear. Like, I don't even know the last time. I think I bought Jake 1 pack of underwear in the last 5 years because it just lasts forever.
Yeah.
So I'd be more willing to change his out, maybe even before mine, because I could just go through so many underwear.
You know what I hate is that like I have like a 6-pack I think I got from Amazon. They're the packed brand, organic. They're fine. They do the job. I do say that like we need to have a whole like UTI conversation. That's one I have just like ready in the barrel. We could just
because I have questions now that I have a daughter who's
okay
in that fun age.
But like they're kind of granny cut and like even in these pants, like I think they're cute. Like they're kind of like high waisted, kind of baggy, flowy. But like you can see my grandma lines, like my granny lines, and I'm like, oh, can we just like not put elastic there? But because it's like a healthy fabric that isn't like spandex filled with plastic. Anyways, wow. We are tangenting.
That's okay.
I always sometimes think like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. And then we hit record and we're like,
let's go.
Yeah. But we're
granny panties. I've been wearing the same underwear. It's pregnancy underwear, but underbelly underwear. And I've been wearing that for 4 years now. And unless I find an organic one that I love, will probably always buy that because my torso is so short.
Yeah.
So even if I got like bikini cut, I felt like my underwear was like up to my boob. And since these ones are like super low to be under your belly, they just like fit me like a normal human's underwear. So,
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
I would say I'd link them, but we all know I will not link anything.
We have to start doing that.
No, actually, I'll make a list before I forget.
So link that. Okay.
Yep.
Let's link the packed ones too.
Okay.
Which because I like them. I wear now just those like 6 pairs. And then when I run out, I try to wear like I have like a pair of like purple lace / satin that. I'm sorry, this is going to get weird, but like it throws off my like vaginal pH and it makes me a little bit more stinky than it should be.
Yeah.
So,
but at least back to the organic ones, it's not like the guys ever care.
No.
So
I literally can look like a garbage bag and still 100% get laid. No one ever talks about that about marriage is that like, no matter how you look.
So wear your granny panties, be comfy.
Yeah. They don't stay on long anyway, so whatever. That's why like I stopped buying lingerie.
Yeah, there's
like,
no point.
Honestly, it's a waste.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Your mom bought you some for your wedding shower. This is so off topic.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I think you freaked out and I was laughing.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. That was nice. But they're just kind of I actually have gotten rid of like most of them. Yeah. I'm like, they're just.
I think I saved my wedding ones for like sentimentalness, but I keep almost throwing them away.
Yeah.
One day I probably will. But anyways, today.
ADD.
Woo.
Easy as. Okay, yeah. We're just a little. We're allegedly a little bit distracted, but you've had a long day at work. So it was just Labor Day weekend. So this is like delayed a little bit by the time you guys are listening to this. And we were supposed to go on a camping trip and then our house sitter bailed. And so we weren't able to go, which sucks. / like I didn't really like lock it down. I should have. I kind of thought we were confirmed, and in hindsight, I didn't actually send that text, which is a huge problem with me.
Oh no,
most of the time. But we got like a lot of house stuff done.
That's amazing.
But then it hit me today, like, oh, I like haven't stopped moving for like 8 days, and we've been like kind of
more like weeks. I don't think you've stopped moving since you moved in.
No, but some days like I'll take like a day where like I just watch my kid play with her, engage with her. But like we haven't even had that in like 8 solid days. And so like today was like my vegetable day.
Good for you. Do I have kind bar in my teeth?
No.
Okay, good, because I can feel it. I think I can feel it.
No, you have such like beautiful glossy teeth.
Oh, thanks.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
I switched toothpaste. We can talk about that later too.
We have we need to like make a list of the things we say we're going to talk about, because then people send us messages like, hey, did you ever get to that topic? And I'm like, ugh,
what topic?
What are you talking about? On another random tangent, I'm going to start like for Christmas. Like, I feel like Christmas has just become like very empty a little bit. It's like, oh, like, let me just go to Ross and find something cheap to get somebody, like, you know, whatever.
And the pressure and the guilt of like, oh, what if they get me something and I don't get something back?
Yeah.
Or give them something back.
Yeah. I just want to get like, I want to just do things very homesteady this year of like, okay, if we have a surplus of eggs, like I'm going to get you an eggs and put a bow on it.
I want that garlic stuff. If you're taking a...
Yeah, like
because I keep thinking I'm going to make it and I will not.
Garlic and honey.
Yeah.
Okay, so like that was on my list. Like I'll just make people like fermented garlic and honey, and
be great.
Give them sage tea, maybe like a tea infuser thing, maybe depending on who it is. But like, why was I on that topic? Oh, people have asked for like what we do with our skincare, body stuff, like, and so then you said toothpaste. I'm like, okay, well, I make my own toothpaste. Do I then like gift away toothpaste?
Yeah, go for it.
If people like powder toothpaste, I'll just make Christmas presents of
do it.
Toothpaste.
Jake's been really liking the charcoal, and I thought he'd be a little skeptical, but he really likes how white it makes his teeth. So
yeah,
I've been just, you might as well keep going with our tangents. But ever since that embroidery episode, where I talked about how I started doing embroidery, that like became a severe addiction. But you know, when you have ADHD and you learn a new craft and then you go till you burn out.
Yeah. You
I'm
burned
like,
out.
no, I'm high in the like,
oh, okay.
Like you said, we're going to Hobby Lobby after. I'm like, Hobby Lobby. And I was like, great, I need a new hoop. Do I need a new hoop? No, but I'm going to get one. So,
oh, that's great. I'm happy for you for that.
Me too. But that goes along with the Christmas thing too. I'm like, okay, who needs what for Christmas? What can I make?
But see, the thing is, like, I would rather, I've hit the age now where I'd rather have like a quality time. Like, I'd rather like Jacob be like, hey, I'm going to watch all the kids. You and Irene go get coffee. Or like, or be like, Irene, you're going to watch the kids. Jake and Ilea go write a song. Yeah. Or the afternoon or something. You know, like, I'd rather those type of things versus physical things.
Maybe.
Anyways.
Maybe tomorrow.
We're glad you guys are here. Yes. We haven't really like said how things are going with the podcast in a while. Like, so should we, I don't know. Yeah. We have like consistent listenership, which is crazy and exciting. So weird, and it's so growing. Exciting. It's growing and like it waxes and wanes per episode, but we're excited. And I think before we head out for our cruise, I'm going to like do another big shorts push to try to get like more engagement and stuff. But things are going really well. Like we're on like I think this is our 30th episode.
Yay. So, and isn't it like we're already in, according to Jacob, I don't know how true this is now because this is an older statistic, but most podcasters quit after episode 20. Yeah. So if you get, some article he read or video he watched said if you get past the 20th episode, you're already in such like a marginal percentage of people that keep going. I was like, that's so crazy.
Yeah. And like, unfortunately, a lot of those podcasts, like you just don't, if you're not in marketing and you're not in like promotions and just how to like share your content, a lot of people don't know what to do to get more eyes on it. Yeah. But which I think we struggle with YouTube. Like we record it video wise and like we get like 100 views on YouTube, but like we get way more listens.
100 consistent.
Yeah, you're right. And we're really grateful for that 100 because if 100 people were in this room right now, we would be overwhelmed. Yes. And we would be very nervous.
Also, because our long form does better on YouTube, but the Chasing Mountains podcast, their short form does better. Yeah. I think we're technically in the lead, not in subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to our YouTube, do it because whichever,
even if you don't watch on YouTube,
right? Even if you don't watch, just subscribe.
We want to beat the guys
because whichever couple gets there first is going to the Bahamas. Which
technically we're going to the Bahamas either way, no matter who wins. Right? But like we want to take the boys to the Bahamas.
Yes, we want to win.
Yeah.
So do that. But yeah, the 100 listeners is great because our long form hours are higher than theirs.
Yeah. Oh, nice. And like I think. Like we're finding our people, which is really great. Like we have like the hateful people who comment like, "This is dumb. What credentials do you have to have a podcast?" I'm like, "You sound vaccinated. Yeah. Get out of here." But like,
then there's people that are like, "Oh, I like you guys. You make me laugh because you guys are ridiculous." I'm like, "Thanks,
are ridiculous,
but we're the crazy."
Yeah, we're just. One of my friends from church actually said that you and I have like really good charisma. I was like, "That's great because like." We are this weird behind. Actually, we are weirder behind the scenes.
We rein it in a lot.
We rein it in, but we're still ourselves. Yes, you know. Anyways, but today, what are we talking about?
We are talking about things that we did to prepare our bodies for pregnancy. Which I want to say, I know it's a sensitive topic, and there are 10 million reasons for issues with pregnancy. We are not experts. We are not doctors. We don't know anything. Allegedly. Yeah. And I know that there's no like one answer. These are just the things that we did when we hit the phase of, okay, we're ready for a baby. How can I make my body the optimal vessel to carry a child, obviously to the best of my ability? There's so many circumstances and I want to be super sensitive. But these are just some things that we did that we felt helped prep our body and like clear out the junk. And yeah, this is where we are.
Yeah. And I would say before we start, if you're dealing with like fertility issues, and because we actually have a listener who reached out, I think I told you about this, who was trying to conceive and heard a podcast where we were talking about like, if your doctor isn't listening to you, you're not giving you what you want, or like not pushing the needle forward, no pun intended, needle doctor. Anyways, fire them.
Yeah.
Go find another one. Like, you are not locked into that doctor.
Yeah.
And so if you're dealing with some fertility issues and your doctor isn't, listening to you, or you don't feel heard, or you don't feel like there's enough like motivation from them to get this a solution for this, and their only answer is regulate your hormones with birth control or go see a fertility specialist, like, I would just challenge you to go research. And there's a YouTube channel called Fertility Homeopath. Have you ever? I think I've sent you some videos.
Me a couple videos.
Really helpful information. But she's a homeopath and she's very educated and has helped a lot of women who have been told like, oh, you will never get pregnant.
Yeah.
Like she'll take like, I don't know if she's still doing it. She has really young kids, but she sometimes takes like one-on-one clients and stuff, and works with like the fertility awareness method to like figure out hormones and stuff. And then she'll, say like, hey, like you need to do a heavy metal detox or whatever. Like, whereas like we know the words of heavy metal detox, and we know like surface level, but like,
like we are not, but we're not the
we're not
pros.
The homeopaths. Like, that's why we want to, like, I have a message out to her where I would love for her to come on the podcast. And she's like Swedish or something. And
that's awesome.
So that is TBD. I would really love for that to happen. But
that would be great. I was going to say something. Oh, on that note, one of my employees, I don't know if I told you this yet, but she was going to the doctor because she's wanting a baby. And they just kept giving her the runaround of, well, you need to lose weight. And she's like, I can't lose weight. My hormones are off. And they were saying, well, just lose the weight and your hormones will fix. She's like, I'm telling you, like, I can't. It's just the runaround. And she fired that doctor.
Good.
Found a new doctor. She asked a bunch of people around, like, who'd you go to? Who'd you go to? Who'd you go to? And then finally found a doctor that's actually working with her and listening.
And earning their paycheck like they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm. So,
like we all have to.
Right.
Like,
so you can absolutely fire and do your research. Don't just jump to another doctor.
Yeah.
Ask around,
They take consultations. Like usually, I mean, most doctors, like, it's like, hey, like I want to come do like an informal consultation. Just say like, hey, like I want to vet you to see if you're going to listen to me.
Right.
But yeah, anyways, all right.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. How we prepped our bodies for pregnancy.
Yeah. There was something else I was going to say on that note too. It's gone.
Also, if you're already pregnant, don't feel overwhelmed that, oh my gosh, I didn't prepare my body. Like, no, because
at the end of the day,
God is good. He's going to give you the baby that you're supposed to have.
And barring some like circumstances, again, every case is different. We're not here to say this is how it goes. Allegedly. Your baby will take what it needs from your body. Because I remember, like, especially early on in pregnancy, I was puking. I lost 10 pounds with Riker because I just could not stop puking. And I was like, well, what good are these prenatals? Like, the thoughts of a frantic first-time mom was like, he's going to die because I can't keep these vitamins in. And somebody finally was like, no, the baby's going to take what the baby needs from your body. It's you that's going to suffer. And at that point, I was like, okay, it's fine. If I like lose a couple teeth, but the baby's healthy, whatever. Because at that point, I was so stressed about not being able to keep these supplements in. But
which is like this is allegedly again. Wow.
This is going to be a very allegedly heavy video, though.
Yeah, it is. We need to have them record it, saying it at the same time because I think it's too long.
Yeah, that's what I was.
But anyways, that's like a magnesium deficiency, like heavy. There's a lot of things that go into it. Like if you have the MTHFR gene, like are you?
And I do.
Like
I'm not positive.
You do?
I'm not positive.
Well, you do have that sugar worm sometimes.
I have the sugar worm. I have the deep purple under eye. No matter what I do, Riker has it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
I'm like, with Riker's
methylated B vitamins and magnesium, I bet you wouldn't but taking it before getting pregnant, getting your stores up, I bet you wouldn't be as sick.
With Riker's pregnancy, that's when I started hearing about it. And about halfway through that pregnancy, I switched prenatals, which by the point I switched, I wasn't puking anymore, but I did tell a difference in my energy levels when I switched to stuff that my body can handle.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So I guess I can go because they're different, each kid, sort of. Prior to getting pregnant with my son, I have not eaten gluten willfully since 2010, I think. So that was a big part of it for me, is knowing what foods my body can't tolerate and not eating those. Because when you eat something, even if you're not like anaphylaxis, if you eat something you're intolerant to or mildly allergic to, you still get inflammation.
Yeah.
And that inflammation causes everything to just overheat and your circuit board to not quite work as well. So for me, step one, super important, is don't eat things. Like, even if you eat it and you're like, oh, that makes me feel sick every time, and you don't know what ingredient it is that is bothering you, just don't eat that food, which seems like it would be, oh, that makes me sick, I won't eat it. But how many times do we just like run through fast food really quick and I'll just grab it and then I'll be sick later? But that'd probably be my first thing, is first is cut out fast food, period, because you don't know what preservatives they have, and
anyway,
gums up your pipes. But cut out fast food and the things that your body's intolerant to. But what do you?
I would say along the same lines of like, I knew, because I had like, I'm not sure how much I've mentioned it in the past, but like I had like a scare with cervical cancer, where they like told me I had cervical cancer. And then I was like, actually somebody else's test results. And in hindsight, I should have definitely sued, but whatever. Yeah. It's too late now. But they told me like I would need their help to get pregnant because of PCOS. And I was like, well, like, can I change anything? Can I like do things to like help support my body? I don't know where I got the gall at like 19 to be like, can I like start eating vegetables? Cause I was just eating like
Jack's pizza.
Totino's, Jack's, pizza rolls. Like,
that's all we lived off of when I moved here.
Oh man, it was so good. Don't get me wrong. It's delicious.
A little pizza spinner, and you can like still hear the motor, but also it will kill us both.
Yeah, for sure. But like, and the doctor was like, no, like there's nothing you can do. Here's this birth control, take this birth control. And then when you want to get pregnant someday, you'll just have to come get IVF or whatever. And I was like, well, that's not going to happen. Like, so at some point, like it was a journey to find out like, oh, like what you eat actually matters. And I used to hate people who talked like that. Who were like, eat your vegetables, drink water. And I'm like, whatever, I feel great. I did not feel great. I was actually very malnourished. So I would say like, get back to the basics. It doesn't have to be complicated. If it came from the earth, eat it. Like
came from the earth or eats the earth.
Yep. Came from the earth, eats the earth. Like meat, vegetables, seeds, some grains. Like some people can tolerate grains. I would say that gluten these days, like flour and breads are not the same that they used to be in the day. So they're heavily modified. So do what you can afford or make your own bread.
Yeah. That's
adjust it's just so basic. Like cut out, I'm sorry, but like cut out sugary drinks, cut out, if you're drinking,
especially diet.
Yeah. I feel like diet is just start. That's a great way to start.
Just no fast food and no soda. Start there. If you need a timeline, like 30 days, go for it. And then once you hit 30 days, it's like, okay, well, I've made it this far.
Yeah. There's on that fertility homeopath YouTube channel, she talks about like ways to improve your egg quality in 30, 60, and 90 days.
Oh, nice.
So like it would be best case scenario to like, 90 days or longer. Yeah. Like the longer you can, the better the egg quality, because you can improve your egg quality. But so like that's a good video. Maybe we'll make that.
Yeah. I will write a note right now. I was also told, because my cycles were so irregular, which I know we've talked about on the podcast before, but just in case there's any newer listeners, I was also told at like 17, I would probably never get pregnant, or if I did, it would be a miracle because my periods were so scattered. And when we weren't going out of our way to try to get pregnant, but from the day we decided to stop preventing it, which mind you, we weren't doing any birth control. There were just other methods. So there was no like chemicals involved, but from the day we stopped trying to prevent it, it took about 6 months for us to conceive. And prior to that so we started at 6, basically we started not preventing in January. We conceived him in June, but around like March-ish. So I'd cleaned up my diet. I kind of went to like a Whole30, paleo-ish, but I was still doing a lot of corn. At that time, I noticed I had kind of a corn sensitivity. It was starting to irritate me a little bit more. And I just like, my stomach was always hurting again. And I was like, well, I'm not eating gluten. What could this be? I ended up, that's where I went to a professional who knew more than I knew. She's the one that said like, yeah, corn is processed now the same way wheat used to be when the gluten issues started. Yes, so maybe just avoid corn, which I remember was so annoying, both to me and the team, because we were traveling a lot on video shoots. And we'd run through Chick-fil-A and they'd like, fine, everything's corn-free until you add the sauces. And the sauce is the only reason to eat Chick-fil-A. And it's all soy and corn syrup.
Yeah.
And ketchup, like we buy this Simply Ketchup or organic, which doesn't have corn syrup. But ketchup at restaurants has corn syrup every time. So I'm over there eating like bland fries with no ketchup. And but while I was doing that, I was also doing a deep cellular level detox, which in childhood I don't even know the quantity of jabs that I had as a child. So I had all of that build up, plus my chronic constipation, digestive issues. So I knew there was a lot of like backed up junk in my pipes, I guess, anyways. Only like 2 months. And then I was like, nah, this is dumb. I'm not taking this. But mine was just laziness, not for any reason other than I'm like, could not be committed to taking something every day. And still to this day, it's like, thyroid medication? No, thanks. I'll take 75 supplements a day. Yeah. But it's because I have like the free will to take those supplements, where I feel like once you start on a medicine, you're like stuck with it until you.
Well, yeah. And you're never like deficient in a pharmaceutical. Right. Like, whereas like a supplement, it is a temporary fix or a supplementation of like a nutrient you are missing, versus a pharmaceutical. It is not doing anything besides masking the symptoms and going to cause other issues, because it definitely has side effects. Yeah.
So great. Thankfully, I only had like 2 months worth in my system, versus some people I know were on it for like the first 5 years of their marriage, and they're having to like reverse that. But so I had that. Plus I had so many fillings done in high school, which is like 90s mercury, early 2000s mercury. So I knew at that point I was starting to learn about like mercury leaching from your fillings. And I was like, well, again, we weren't at the point where we were panicking, because we weren't going out of our way. We were just like, well, if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, we'll figure it out. But she ended up putting me through 12 weeks of this program, and it was a detoxifier and a binder, like 3 binders. So it was 1 detox drops that I put in water, and I sipped that throughout the day. And then 3 times a day, I took 3 separate binders in an oral spray form. So I'd spray it in my tongue.
But were you pooping at the time?
A little bit, but not a ton.
I'm surprised she put you on a cellular detox.
That I was concerned about that, because
without you pooping, because like, where the hell did it go?
That she told me the binders I was taking were meant specifically, like they were oral sprays. You sprayed it in, and I did tell her that that was my concern. And I was going a little, not regularly, but a little bit more. But she said a lot of those would put them in like urine and breath. So as long as I was like breathing out consistently and like walking, running, anything that was like exerting and sweating and peeing, it would suck it out through liquid form versus the whole form. But I will say the 12-week program ended, and a week later, I'm pretty sure that week later is maybe the week after. Details are up in the air, but a week or 2 weeks after I finished that cellular level detox, we got pregnant without even like thinking about it. So
yeah, awesome.
That was crazy. But that was the extreme. I was also like very well versed in chiropractors at that point, and holistic everything, and I knew what was in all my skin. So it was a lot of legwork to get there, but my foundation also goes back to no gluten, no fast food.
Yeah. And a detox. Because like we all need to detox. Like most cultures like are not us having the SAD diet, standard American diet, that actually like, naturally detoxify us, because, we're drinking teas and herbals and all these things. And we've just gotten way away from that. And we're like, oh, Chick-fil-A every day. Great. Yeah. I would say, like a way I prepared my body is learned about my body. Yeah. So we started doing the fertility awareness method. I was on birth control for like, I don't know. I feel like it was like 2 months, but I started forgetting 2 or 3 months. I don't know.
Remember.
It was definitely not 4. Anyways, when we like not first started dating, but like we're into dating and do as I say, not as I do. But then I was like, I felt like crap all the time. I was getting very paranoid. Like I was not a insecure girl that was like, my boyfriend's cheating on me. Like I was just I was like, no, like I trust him. He's a good man. Like,
yeah,
whatever. But like, it made me very crazy. Anyway, so I didn't do it. I didn't go off of it because like, it actually didn't make my body feel that bad. It just made my brain freaking crazy. Like it made me crazy. Anyways, so I was like, well, like why? I'm so grateful that I like put that in my brain to be like, well, like what? Like when can you get pregnant? What is going on?
No,
they're like, oh, you can get pregnant any day of the month. Like it's gonna happen. No, it's like 4 to 5 days out of the month is the only time you can get pregnant. Like if you have, wow, this is gonna be a allegedly heavy episode. But like, you know, barring that you don't have like a crazy erratic cycle or you're just coming off the pill, which, you know, most of the time that's when twins happens is because you're just coming off of birth control. Like, but like I learned about the fertility awareness method and how like the different cycles, because you're basically a different woman every week of the month.
Yeah.
Like
those poor fellas. We got some good guys because they're pretty patient.
Yeah, but also like we're not that wackadoo.
That's true.
Like we're not like,
I don't know. I got a little, the poor guy. I have to like be composed because I'm a business owner. I can't just come to work and start like throwing things at the wall. Not that I throw them at home, but then I get home and I'm like, as soon as I walk in the door, it's like, how was your day? And then just sobbing. It's like, sorry about me. And then I don't know why I'm having this feeling. And then the next day I start my period. I'm like, I'm good.
That's also
sorry.
Personality.
Yeah.
So yeah, just learn about your own cycle, like the menstruation, ovulation, follicular, and menstruation, follicular, luteal, and menstruation.
Yeah.
Did I say menstruation twice?
Yep.
I did.
Okay. That's okay.
Ovulation, menstruation, follicular, and luteal.
Yes.
Like learn about your cycle, learn about who you are, like in those cycles, which I'm still like, you know, you still learn because after you have a baby, things kind of change, but it's basically the same.
Yeah.
So you can also do like, you can just get like a basal body temperature and like take your temperature under your tongue every day when you wake up. Just learn your body. Like it's actually not as complicated and scary once you actually get into it. So if you know your body, like when you go into it, then you'll also know like, oh, like I feel off. Like my boobs usually aren't tender this time of the, like the month.
Yeah.
You know? So,
did you, that thought made me think of, all that research of women who are on birth control because they're in college and they need birth control and then they get married and then they get off birth control and they're no longer attracted to their husband.
Yeah.
That is crazy that
it changes
one
your brain.
hormone can completely change everything about who you're attracted to.
Have you,
crazy.
Did you hear that like people came off of it and they were like, oh, I'm not gay?
No. Oh my God.
Oh, I married a woman, or I'm in a same-sex relationship. And
then why do you need birth control?
Well, because they weren't that way. And then, or they were told the lie of like, oh, this will balance your hormones because you have acne or because you have hard periods or whatever. And so it's not always about controlling birth, which it doesn't. This is a bonus tip, or maybe it is a part of it, but like this will be a tip. Do you mind if I go again?
Go for it.
Know your personal care products. So like your lubricants that you're using, which I'm a granny, do as I say, not as I do. Cause sorry, mom, but like don't be having sex with everybody. Like date and date to find your husband. Yeah. You know? But like the lubricants, a lot of them have spermicide and like there's so many people who are trying to conceive and they're still using like just because KY jelly and it has a spermicide, which is killing the sperm. So if your husband has low motility, like it's killing the whatever's left, or kind of like a, it's just sketchy product. Like you should know it. And most of the time it's causing yeast and candida and lots of problems there. But like, also your pads, like are your pads leaching carcinogens into your bloodstream?
There's so many things that I forget because I've kind of been on this health journey, but I've kind of been on it. It does, but it lifestyle, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I've been on it since, thank God, I've been on it since I was like 20. So I skipped a lot of the years of like toxic tampons because at that point I was like, well, I can't, if I'm allergic to wheat, like who's allergic to wheat? And then what else am I allergic to? And I kind of like freaked out and went psycho in my early 20s about like, I was like the extreme version of a, I don't know, health hippie person or whatever. But I mean, as a 30, how old am I? 33. As a 33-year-old woman.
33?
I know.
Am I 30? Oh my God.
But that makes me thankful. I didn't really have like that many years of toxic tampons.
Yeah.
Or anything, So I switched my pads early on too. But there's so many, it seems overwhelming, and we don't want this episode to make it, I can never get pregnant because there's too many things. This was a lot of years of us adapting and changing, and this didn't work, so let's change it.
It took years, and it's going to take years probably for you as well. Yeah. And it's like, it's just, when you run out of
to
dish soap,
change your health. Yeah. Maybe not to get pregnant.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Yes. Because for Ilea, it took one day and a good hairdo.
I guess I got pregnant on the first try, and like I knew
years of prep.
I knew, like we did the deed, you know, and I was like, I'm pregnant.
I did not.
But
either time.
Yeah.
One time Ilea said, you're probably pregnant. And the next time my husband said, you're acting like you're pregnant. Are you pregnant? I was like, I think I would know if I was pregnant or not. And then I went to the bathroom and took a test. I was like, Happy Father's Day. We're having a baby. Yeah. So apparently but I also have really bad celiac and food issues. Yeah. So like pregnancy nausea and like my day-to-day nausea is not super far off. But so Ilea knew. I did not.
Yeah. But like it took, like we did Daisy for 3 years before that. So I knew, like,
you had a lot of data.
I was very in tune with what was happening and if there was anything that was off. So like, yes, I also like, I didn't do a cellular detox, but I did like a liver cleanse and I did parasite cleanse, which I know people are like, what, parasites? Because
we need a whole topic on that. And
we have a girl that we're going to have on, but we just have to, like, we all have so many different schedules. Yeah. It's so hard to, so we are going to have her on.
Yay. I'm excited because I have 10,000 questions for her too.
Yeah.
Another thing is like pre-game with your prenatals. So I was at the store and I had my usual brand of multivitamin that I was taking just as a supplement when I was eating terribly on the road or whatever. And I flipped that over, and then they had a hair, skin, and nails one, which I would sometimes take. And I flipped that over, and then I flipped over a prenatal, and they had the exact same ingredients with all three, except the prenatal had folic acid or whatever it has. That was the only thing different. But the multivitamin had like 200 milligrams of this, and the hair, skin, and nails had 400 milligrams of this, and the prenatal had 800 milligrams of this. So then I thought, well, if my hair is growing well at this middle range, then it's definitely going to grow at the prenatal range.
You're such a hairstylist.
Back then, I jumped to just prenatals. Plus, I knew like we weren't that far away from having a baby, and I wanted my stores to be up. So I took prenatals for like 2 years prior to, just to make sure, like, if I did have the baby and I was, gonna puke my guts up, which I didn't know back then, it would suck it from my body. But I'm glad that like my bones and everything had the stores of extra everything. So.
Yeah. Also, look into the difference between folic acid and folate.
Yes. Because I can't remember which one is which now, but I remember I did look into that with both babies.
Most of the time, methylated folate. Mm-hmm. But look into that. If you're looking to get pregnant or if you're pregnant now, look at your prenatal. If it says folic acid, change prenatals. Because it is synthetic is what it is. Okay, it's synthetic folic acid is a synthetic man-made supplement versus folate is naturally derived. And our body doesn't know what to do with the fake folic acid.
Yeah. So you think you're getting it.
So you think you're getting it, but your body doesn't know how to process it. So actually your kid is like, it can cause some really, it can cause some really bad side effects if you have folic acid and you don't have the proper folate in pregnancy. So look into that. Anyways, but that's good. I wish I would have started sooner. I was doing plenty of, support supplements to like, based off like a hair analysis that I had, or like a blood test that I had taken a while back, but that was just a bonus because I'm a psycho.
And hydrate. Because you're going to dehydrate if you get sick.
Here's the thing. I need to find the study. Shoot, someone had commented asking for a link, but I can't find it. Yeah. I've looked. Okay. There is, but I saw an article. But here's the thing. When you're trying to find, like if you're just now on this natural bandwagon, you can't just go to Google and say like, what should I do naturally for pregnancy or whatever? Because they've like literally everybody. there is legislation that squashes all of the natural stuff, hides everything, and just gives you like freaking WebMD. Yeah. Like it's not like, oh, you guys are conspiracy theorists. Like, Hobag, look it up. That's how it is. Yeah. Like they hide the natural resources. So anyways, where was I going with that?
Hydration.
Oh yeah. Like lip ties, cheek ties, tongue ties are linked to mineral deficiencies. So like, just do some Celtic.
I say Celtic, but I've heard it both ways.
Celtic sea salt under your tongue, or take additional minerals. There's trace minerals.
Yeah.
While you're pregnant, or even prior, like just build up your stores. But like that was like one article, and I've only had one pregnancy to go off of, but like I was like a psychopath about it before and during pregnancy. And I don't know, she didn't have a lip tie, cheek tie, tongue tie.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
It also doesn't hurt to just like have
just to be hydrated.
Be hydrated and mineral things. Yeah. I don't know.
Second pregnancy was different because I was maybe, turned 1. I was maybe 14 months postpartum.
Oh my gosh, that's me now.
Was I?
15 months.
1, 2. I know I was, 15 months postpartum when we conceived my second. And this is all in moderation because I was crazy prior to pregnancy. And then halfway through pregnancy, like that survival mode kicked in. Maybe it was the first trimester.
You keep starting businesses when you're pregnant.
I don't know why I keep doing that. But pregnancy with Riker, I drank a lot of Dr. Pepper. And now
corn syrup.
That is one thing I did during pregnancy is I went out of my way to find, very expensive, but I would go find, there's still a few places that have Dr. Pepper with just sugar and no corn syrup. So that was at least something I did. I was like, well, if I'm going to have Dr. Pepper, and then every once in a while I'd grab a Polar Pop because I needed ice. But that was from my anemia. So, there's a lot of stuff to go with there. But then again, when I conceived my second, I was so stressed because I didn't do a detox. I was still nursing, so I didn't want to do a detox while I was nursing a toddler. Didn't do a detox. Didn't do anything. The only thing I was still actively doing with her was taking my prenatals pretty religiously. Was still drinking soda post Riker, not as much as during pregnancy, but it'd be like 1 or 2 a week I'd have. And then that worry when we found out we were pregnant, I was like, oh no, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. Yeah. And I realized that's when we just have to give it to God because the reason I have this baby is because God wanted me to have this baby right now. Otherwise we wouldn't have her. And my body's going to do what my body knows how to do, and anything else I have to let it go. So
yeah, there's grace in all of it. Because even if you're watching this, like we have plenty of listeners who are out of the baby making phase of their life. And you just do the best you can with what you got. Like we always say. Yeah. But what the hell was
that? Are you chambered?
I mean, it's good that my holster's stuck, but
listen, we are not the people to try to murder. Door's locked.
I'm going to keep an ear off so I can hear better.
Okay.
Are you chambered?
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty. I was thinking about it the other day when we were on the way to Wyoming. It's like, we are not the vans to mug.
No. Or the mothers to mess with.
No.
Honestly. Like,
have you, I know the answer to this, but for those of you listening, have you seen that reel that's been going around, totally off topic, but about motherhood, so whatever. The reel that's going around where they asked a bunch of moms if they would kill to protect their babies. And I cannot handle the fact that mothers were holding their newborn saying, no, I couldn't hurt another human being. And like, you made that thing. And if someone's coming to take that thing, you do whatever you have to do to keep that thing safe. Like, I cannot. Oh, it makes me like, that's that.
We should find it and react to it. Like we should.
Because you know me, I don't get reacted angrily very easily. And that one, like I was through the roof livid.
I think it's a bigger conversation because we've taken all the authority away from the parents.
Yeah.
Like going into birth, it starts really preconception. It starts in teenagehood where we both were told it'd be hard to conceive. So it's like, oh my gosh, you need doctors to do everything and make all the decisions for you. It starts there. And then you go through pregnancy where it's like, I don't know, I just want my baby to be healthy. So I'll take whatever you tell me to take.
Yeah.
Whatever things I need to take during pregency that are not researched at all.
Yep.
Or actually have They're
the professionals.
They would never harm you. You would never question, the experts on the subject.
Yeah.
But then and then you go into labor and delivery, and then it's like, oh, it didn't go to plan, when actually it was just the cascade of interventions, which then strips away your authority as a parent of like, oh, like I know what's best. They actually knew what's best, so because they saved me.
Yeah.
It starts like, then you get to that reel where moms are asked if you would hurt somebody to protect their kids, and they're like, they don't have any authority over that kid, really. Like they've given it over to the system.
Yeah.
I know it sounds dark, but then like we send them to school where they get
Somebody
indoctrinated.
else teaches your children.
Yeah, and it's not like if you send your kids to school, that's up to you. I'd say this day and age is, it's a pretty brave stance to take.
Yeah.
Like these days. But like we just stripped all authority away. And so these moms are like, oh no, I could never hurt anybody, because they have no really autonomy over that kid either, or themselves. Whereas like I will annihilate you.
Oh yeah. There also has to be something with like soy is a phytoestrogen.
Yes.
It makes your body think you're getting estrogen, which that was another thing I did right before we conceived, is I cut soy hard. Like that was a hard no. Even if I'm like, oh, I really want this candy, there's soy in it, I would find something with corn syrup over finding something with soy, because I didn't want any kind of hormonal throw off. But what happens when you give a generation of people who like conquered new countries and not flew across the planet, like sailed across the ocean and were brave and were like, let's go, let's do some cool things, and you throw a bunch of estrogen at them,
You have a bunch of soy boys, is what you have.
Them. Yeah.
Which,
and women who are, yes, we're more estrogen, but women that are so like, okay, so pioneer days, the men would go off and they would be hunting, or they'd be exploring new worlds. Well, who stayed at home and made sure nobody raided the house?
Yeah.
The women, which is why you see old Westerns with like women in their pioneer dresses holding a shotgun when someone showed up on their property. Like,
yeah,
both genders have been so like
protective,
like sissified, I guess.
Oh yeah.
That if someone like, I don't know, I can't even, if someone comes into my house, I know there's no doubt that my husband and I will do whatever we have to do to keep our family and our kids safe. We're also try our best to stay away from soy as much as possible. And it happens, but like there's a lot of things we do that aren't, I'm not on birth control, like nothing's squashing that natural production of, it's natural to have a ramp up and a ramp down of hormones and this, and anger is not bad when it's directed in the right direction, but it's not good to be angry and it's not good to be sad. It's just be a monotone person. Take this pill. Don't feel any emotion. It's like, no, some emotions are good. Some emotions get stuff done.
Well, and there's lots of people who say like, oh, it's not godly, it's not Christian, like to choose violence if someone's coming after your family. Like, it's not godly. You ain't read the Bible.
Yeah.
You haven't read the Bible. Like the term savage Jesus, like it's a term for a reason.
And at the end of the day, at the end of my life, I'm not responsible for what happens to this home invader or kidnapper. By the law of God, I am responsible for the humans that I've created. Yep. At the end of the day, their lives are who I will be judged for, not some stranger coming in my house. That's their own mother's fault.
They made that decision. Yeah. They like, because like I have thought, and Dave and I have talked about this. I was like, I have thought like, a lot of the time statistically of the people who are doing those crimes come from fatherless homes. And I have empathy for that. You lose every shred of empathy I have for you the second you try to harm my family, or even just step foot in the doors. Like, I don't care if you're not carrying a firearm and you have I don't care. You made that decision. Allegedly. Once you entered the door. Yeah. But anyways, that was a tangent.
It was a tangent. I don't know how much of it you're keeping in, but we keep hearing noises upstairs and it's dark and we're alone in the building. So we keep stopping to like make sure we're not going to get murdered. So that's where some of this conversation has come from. But then it pivoted towards that video, which I cannot believe. I cannot believe that people would not protect their kid over anything. But so crazy.
But that's also how we've gotten to this weak generation of people who are just rolling over for every single thing that people try to mandate or force upon you. Like we just have a weak, what is it? Weak men make weak times and strong men make strong times. Like we need strong men to step up. And I would say 5 years ago, me would have been like, women can step up too. We can. But like, I also, and it's like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but like we have our roles.
Yeah.
Like it is not like my husband, like when Leo was born, I had like, I'm not very sweet and very nice. Like I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm not like nurturing.
Yeah.
I don't have like a nurturing spirit. I had Leo. God gave me the nurturing spirit I needed for her. And like,
isn't it cool that he'll just give you the tools you need?
Like I was concerned because I was like, okay, I don't like being woken up in the night. Like I don't like hearing kids cry. Like what, and God gave that gift to me. Mm-hmm. Leo was born. Dave got like not a rage, but like he got like an instinct to protect us. Like I've never seen him before. Like he's just way more protective than he's ever been. Yeah. And he was very protective of me. Like he would attack me in the kitchen and be like, how did you get out of this hold? But like now he's like, there's a primal instinct in him to protect us. And that's how God designed it, how God designed how the family unit's supposed to work. So anyways.
It's just all that to say too, like we go through all of these things. Like cutting out foods is not easy if you've not done it before. Like I sometimes take it for granted because I've been gluten-free for so long. And one of my employees said, like, I think my body can't tolerate it. What do I do? I'm overwhelmed. And I was like, oh, it's easy. Just don't eat it. But then as I try to not eat corn, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot it's hard to cut out an entire food group if you're not. But we go through all of this. Yeah. We go through pregnancy and uncomfortableness and your like hips popping out of place and then labor. You go through all of that to have this tiny human. And you wouldn't protect it? That was hard work. I'm not throwing away all my hard work to some hobo trying to take my kid. It's so crazy.
But we're also in a generation that does not value human life.
That's true.
The way it should.
Mm-hmm. But human baby lives.
They go
like, honestly, you for taking the adult life. No one's going to come after someone for taking a baby's life.
Yeah. Or no, you can't kick a pregnant dog, but you can. Yeah. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah. Well, don't get me started.
We should have a conversation on that. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like it's important and we're here to speak to because I was of that camp of like, oh, but like, I'm totally fine with it if it's, I didn't say totally fine. Like if you were like raped or something. Yeah. Now I'm not in that camp because it is not that child's fault. Yeah. That like this, it is not the sins of the father of the kid to carry. Like it's not. Yeah. We can have a whole long conversation about that later, but
because I have some interesting points on voting that have changed but not changed, but we can go on that another day.
What we should do is we should have an episode on how motherhood changed us. Yes. Because like I am not the same person that I was and I'm grateful for it because like it has humbled me a lot. Yeah. Anyways, back to the topic on hand. What the heck are we talking about?
I don't know, but I kind of love that our podcast is just going everywhere because if we were at a coffee shop right now, this is how the conversation would go. So come grab your cup of coffee with us because this is how it goes.
It is, yeah. I had Dave do a detox beforehand, just like a 30-day. In hindsight, like when we decide to like, okay, it's coming up. Because usually it's like there's conversations beforehand that lead up a couple of months for us. That's how it happened in the past of like, I'm going to put him on like a heavier detox again. But like, and I made him stop carrying his phone in the front of his pocket because I was like, it does reduce sperm motility. I was like, I don't want like a half janky EMF radiated sperm. Like give me a good one. Like, so stop carrying your phone in your front pocket. And also in general, just like don't carry your phone. Like you as the woman, like don't carry it in your front pocket or anywhere that's a big one. Near, like just put it in your purse, put it like, or just don't have it. Cause it doesn't need to be with you all the time.
I think during Riker's entire pregnancy, I slept with my phone on airplane mode because it's like, well, if it's an emergency, they'll get a hold of Jake. His phone's on his side of the body. Yeah. Maybe his body will block whatever's coming towards me from his phone. But then with Nova's, I did not do that.
We slept with
we
sleep with our phones in the bathroom.
That second kid thing, I went through all these extraordinary measures with my first kid who is a little more thoughtful when he makes his decisions. And my second kid, who I'm like, she'll probably be fine, like is a bull in a china shop. So she'll just, doesn't matter what it is, she's ready to go. So again, then you can do all you can and your kids are, they'll be what they're going to be.
But there also is birth order. Like that's also just innate with the second born. Like there's a book, I read like,
I think it's called The Birth Order.
Is it?
I think.
I read like
I haven't read it, but I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah. That's just also like how, like, because also our first child gets the most toxin dump from both parents. So sorry to the firstborns.
Can we also talk about how I'm a firstborn that married a secondborn? And we both forgot that, you're
I'm a youngest who marry an oldest.
We forgot that our anniversary is in like 2 weeks, but your anniversary is in like a week.
It's Sunday.
Yay.
Yeah.
We completely forgot about ours. So whoopsie. But also I'm a firstborn married to a secondborn and 9 years of marriage and 15 years of togetherness later. Yeah. But that is something as I watch my kids fight, not that Jacob and I fight, but like if we ever have our differences, it's usually because my way of doing things is more like your husband, slow and thoughtful, and let's lay out all our options first before we do it. And the secondborn and the baby are like, who cares? Jump. We'll find the ground later. So it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch.
And every personality has their strong suit. Mm-hmm. We should talk about personality tests.
Yeah.
The pros and cons of them.
Yes.
Let us know if that's something you want to hear. What's the other one we said? We should write that down. Because I
wrote it down. I forgot what it was, but I wrote it down.
Sometimes we have all these ideas and then we like leave the room and we completely forget. But what you were talking about with your anniversary and how you guys forgot. Mm-hmm. I think though we're not like regular couples where we're nice to each other year round. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I mean, obviously we're human and we have disagreements, blah, 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 all those things. But like the anniversary doesn't really mean much to me. Yeah. Like it's like great, like sweet. We've made it like it'll be our 7 years.
Partners every day of the world forever.
Yeah. Just because it's
like Valentine's Day. However, sometimes I want things on Valentine's Day. Okay. But we actually just had this conversation the other day. He's like, you don't ever get sad on Valentine's Day. I was like, I mean, do I want to go to dinner with 45,000 other people? No, but I mean, like sometimes flowers are nice. And then he laughed. And then of course, like my feelings didn't get hurt that he laughed because then I'm laughing because he's laughing. But it's like, he's like, I think he laughed and said, you're such a consumer. I was like, yes, I am. Give me some flowers. But
see, and I get mad at Dave because I'm like, what a waste of money because now those are going to die. Yeah. And they're going to get all crunchy on the counter. I'm going to forget to wash, like water them.
Clean it.
And I want to clean it up and I don't want flowers. And bless his heart, he always comes with like, it's really sweet. Yeah. But like, but I would rather have a plant in a pot
that's true.
You know,
I'd rather have a plant in a pot too.
Give me money to go to Hobby Lobby.
Honestly, I'd rather have a Starbucks gift card because I'm a basic.
I'm sorry, are you supporting Starbucks?
Yeah, I'm a basic hairstylist. I can't get over it. Also, when I go, I love supporting local when I can. But if I'm going to pay $7 for a drink, I want it to taste the exact same every single time. And sometimes I go and spend $7.50 and it tastes like fine, but not the same. So. Still basic over here.
Everybody has their hill to die on.
They do. They do.
Let me see. Any other thoughts for?
I don't think so. I don't know if you can even follow that at all. If you can, good luck. But if I had to summarize it, no fast food, no gluten, drink water, no soda. That would be like top 4 in a box. Cellular detox later, but like basic. Yeah. I don't know. What would be your like basic?
Learn your fertility, like learn about your body.
Yeah.
Reduce, like just, it's not a diet. Do not think of it as a diet. You have to adjust your mindset of like, oh, hey, like you're not going to do this lifestyle change for 3 months to prep to get pregnant and then just go back to your old ways. Like you have to think of it of like, I don't eat McDonald's anymore. Like literally there is pretty much no scenario, like unless like the world literally ended and that's the only option, which it won't be because there'll be plants on the ground. I'd rather eat a blade of grass than go to McDonald's.
Yeah. And it's like people think, well, it's just one burger. And I know, at least from the allergy perspective, if I get contaminated with wheat, it'll be 2 weeks before I stop feeling like a trash bag. Yeah. So even if you eat, well, I'm just really hungry today and I don't have time, grab a meat stick. But if you eat McDonald's one time, that's, for one, you're going to have the symptoms for 2 weeks, but it's so heavily preservative that's going to be in your system for months. It's going to take months to get that out if it ever even comes out, because you might get the biofilm over that and it's just in there. So there's no...
Do something today that you'll thank yourself for later, like with snacks. Like just buy meat sticks, like buy something that's easy. Grab like even those like little applesauce packets that I might get for my kid. Like sometimes like I'm running out the door and I need to just shoot one down. Yeah. I mean, just do your best. Yeah. And that kiddo will be worth it. Yeah. Like kids are awesome. Mm-hmm. Hard work, but awesome.
Yeah.
Turds, hard work, but awesome. Like
physical turds and what is the word I'm looking for? Not emotional.
Listen, I had my finger up a chicken's butt today. So
Why? What'd you
it is
do?
egg bound. So
That's where I draw my line.
yeah.
Send my chickens to your house.
Not happy about that, but I am the only
would
one.
rather. Sorry, go ahead.
Nope. I'm their only one that I'm their owner. I have to do it. And I don't want to pay a vet bill.
I could stick my elbow up in a cow to help birth a breech baby, but chickens gross me out. And I love eggs and I love eating chickens and I would slaughter a chicken, but I just don't. I've never liked birds.
I know. I
So
don't.
the thought of a bird and
I wore gloves, of course,
Yeah.
but it's. I don't like birds either. But like this bird was struggling, and like it's one thing. Like honestly, like it's like in parenthood. You just do it. You just show up. Like I'm grossed out. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. I don't even want to grab this bird because like, you know, a lot of these homestead groups I'm a part of, they're like, oh, I'm cuddling my birds today. And I'm like, that's not me. Like I'm not.
they're jabby, pokey feathers. And
I mean, their feathers are pretty soft. Like they're pokey when they come out.
yeah.
But like, I'm not like, I don't have the desire to like hold the birds and like get to know them like a dog.
Yeah.
They're there for a purpose.
Yes.
And they're happy. I'm giving them a happy, good life.
Yeah. I went over the other day. She had like a whole half of a frozen watermelon out there and they were just chilling. Those birds are living high.
Yeah. They're doing fine. But like, you just show up. You just do, like, people ask all the time, like, you know, like how do you, like, I don't know, how do you do podcasts and have kids and all the things and businesses? And it's like, you just do it. Like, some days it sucks. Some days it's awesome, but you just show up.
Yeah. I mean, people show up to their 9-to-5s that they hate. So
yeah,
I'd rather show up to our weird lives than a 9-to-5.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's how you prepare your body for pregnancy and some bonus stuff.
Welcome to our podcast. All right.
Okay.
See you next time.
Bye. Wow.
Thanks for being with us today. Follow us on Instagram at _podcast. We'd love to meet you.
Please help us out by subscribing on YouTube and leaving a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next time. Please remember this information is made available to you for informational and educational purposes only. It is in no way a substitute for medical advice.